Right.
We all shocked when like Thanos like got killed within like 15 minutes.
Not really. I figured they were gonna go that way, but I mean, but the thing is, even me, I was in the middle of the theater. Like it was fun. By the way, the theater I watched it was hilarious. It was me and five other people. When Thanos got his head chopped off by Thor, we all said "damn" at the same time, and then the whole theater started laughing. But yeah, I mean that it caught me off guard, but I was like, wow, they really went there with that. So yeah, and it was all in the first 15 minutes of the movie. But yeah, I mean, it surprised me, but the thing is, I liked it because it's like, well, we still have a whole nother 2 hours and 45 minutes to kill. So yeah, we all know that this is gonna, build up to some kind of climactic clash because we know it's a time travel movie.
The main thing that shocked me about it was basically what one of them said. I don't remember, but what are we gonna do now? Because the time stone had already been destroyed, and I had went in assuming it would be a time travel movie.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, like I gotta go make this work now. And then the time travel to 5 years later, like definitely wasn't expecting that. Just the head roll on the floor was pretty
yeah.
funny, I think.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't funny, but it was like, oh shit, like he's dead. Like they cut away, but you know what happened.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And by the way, I seen this floating around on the internet. It is hilarious to me. You know how Doctor Strange said they had a 14,605,000 chance, and somebody said that if Doctor Strange bet his 14.5 million chance on a rat because the rat was the one who accidentally tripped the quantum realm time machine that spit Ant-Man out. And I also posted this as a Facebook status. I said, so wait a minute. You're telling me that, like, okay, the MCU's quantum realm is equivalent to Dragon Ball Z's hyperbolic time chamber. That's pretty much what I got out of it. Because Ant-Man said he was in the quantum realm for all of 5 hours, but on the outside, 5 years passed. Yeah, like a reverse hyperbolic time chamber. But yeah.
But that's just how time works in any quantum realm, even in theory. Time would dilate from reality. But I think the Russo brothers were the one that brought us direct, right?
Yeah, they're the ones who brought that up. It was still funny because it's like, wait a minute, like what kind? Because Ant-Man, and we're gonna dive into this in just a second. But it seems like Ant-Man, while he might not be the strongest or the smartest Avenger, he gets out of a lot of situations that he's in just by pure dumb luck. And hey, that works for his character. That works for the character of Scott Lang. But anywho, now let's dive right into it. Let's dive into the meat of this. Once again, character development. A lot of characters' story arcs came full circle. We've seen a lot of characters evolve. We've seen Iron Man go from this cocky guy to this I'm not a team player, to him forming a team with the Avengers and then fighting for his life in Infinity War, and then him ultimately sacrificing his life for the team who he said he'd never be a part of. Because originally he got rejected for the Avengers initiative. He wasn't even really going to be a part of the team. But then he sacrificed his life not only for the team, but for the universe. Cap has always been kind of like the straight-laced guy. He's been more or less the same throughout the entire MCU. But, I mean, the biggest thing for him was he was a man out of time. And the thing is, he actually got to go back and live his full life and then come back as an old man, which, I liked. Let's see. Black Widow, she was just a rogue agent, and then she got a job for S.H.I.E.L.D., and then she was a team member of the Avengers, and then, after the snap happened, she became the leader of S.H.I.E.L.D., and became pretty much the overseer of everyone, along with War Machine, who's kind of like the co-runner of S.H.I.E.L.D., and along with Rocket, Okoye, and even Captain Marvel, who's patrolling the galaxy. And then you got Hawkeye, who's gone rogue, and pretty much he went from Hawkeye to the Punisher, pretty much. But yeah, and then you got the remaining half of the Avengers who are disappeared from the snap, and they're pretty much more or less the same. But we're gonna see how they develop as far as the MCU goes. But Eric, like, who was your favorite character arc, and like when the character came full circle? Like, whose character was fully developed throughout this movie to you? Yeah.
He's already, quote unquote straight laced.
Yeah.
But his motivations have changed throughout the movies. The first one, he was just a Boy Scout. He wanted to do the right thing for his country that he loved so much. In the Winter Soldier, he becomes distrusting of the government.
Right.
He wants to, protect his friend and all that. And I did have a little bit of issues with how he was in Civil War with Bucky and how much he defended him, but more so how remorseless Bucky was. But whatever. But yeah, he became not so much a patriot or like a blind follower, right?
Right.
I mean, he kind of represents that you can still love your country while disagreeing with some of its shortcomings. And I think that's a big part of love, of, having that honesty and being able to say, so, I love you, but this is fucked up.
Right.
And that's what a lot of Winter Soldier was. And, Civil War was, he became a damn, what's the word I'm thinking of? Like a refugee.
Yeah.
In Infinity War. Powerless. Almost, he's one of the weaker Avengers, but his brain is so combat strong, kind of like Vegeta.
Yeah.
In that way. But, Thanos and being able to, we talked about him in Infinity War, beating up Fox from Midnight, and the other one, Ebony Maw, whoever he was fighting.
Yeah, it was a,
But, I just think, I don't know, I've always been a Cap fan, and these movies have made me very pleased with the way that they have portrayed him. And he used to be super naive, and I just love how at the end he just went back and lived his life. Like, hey, that's dope. Like, be selfish sometimes, But, that's my favorite.
Yeah, definitely. All right, Flip, whose character arc to you was your favorite and, pretty much coming from start to finish? Not only just in Endgame, but in the MCU in general.
Am I being biased here?
Yeah, just a little bit. You could be biased. This is a review. This is a spoiler review. You could be biased.
I was.
Yeah. Because me, I'm an Iron Man fan. Yeah. So, yeah. Me, I love me some Iron Man. He's my favorite Marvel character. So, yeah. But anyway, go on.
I'd have to go with Doctor Strange.
Oh.
I've always been a fan of like the mythical parts of Doctor Strange. So when I saw like they were making a solo movie, I was very hyped for that. Then the whole him signing some to beat Dormammu and coming out of that way more maturity and looking like he was way more powerful than when he was in the Troll from the Infinity War.
Mm-hmm.
We saw him take a pretty big lead role in Infinity War, which is pretty cool to see. He was one of the deciding factors. We got to see him fight Thanos. That was cool to see. And then in Endgame, I wasn't really satisfied with his role, but I understood it because he knew what was going to happen, so he kind of had to be on the sidelines as long as he could interfere, really.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I did like the way his character arc hasn't ended yet. It's hard to say that, but I like where his character arc is going, but despite some of his character arc has ended, I would say Iron Man.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, I like Cap more.
Yeah.
I like Cap more.
Cap's more relatable, so I can understand. Cap is more relatable, so I understand why.
And when he faced himself, he kind of like, you could tell he grew from that as well. Because he was like, yeah, whatever, you can do this all day. And also, but just being able to outsmart him and outsmart the Hydra agents in the elevator. Because the old Cap totally would punch his way out of the elevator.
Yeah. Yeah. And the thing is, I also like how, Cap, like I said, Cap was straight-laced, but his sense of humor is, well, it actually is what carries the movie. Well, not carries the movie, but it actually helps the movie out a lot because people think that Cap is a Boy Scout and he's, he has so much moral compass and he's so, I'm the symbol of patriotism and I'm straight-laced and hard-nosed. But no, Cap has a personality. Huh. That is America's ass. One of the funniest lines in the movie. But, yeah, I mean, Cap, like I said, his story arc, the thing is, and it beautifully came to a close because, and they're staying comic book accurate, well, at least in the Ultimate Marvel series, where instead of giving the shield to Bucky, he gives it to Falcon. So, because in the original Marvel the Marvel 616 timeline, as we know it, he gives the shield to Bucky, and Bucky's the new Cap. But now Falcon's gonna be the new Cap, which I was actually pulling for that. But yeah. But Waz, what was your favorite character arc that came to a close in the MCU?
Yeah, it's just also between obviously Captain or Iron Man. I think Iron Man, his overall thing was just like a story, a kind of a redemption, kind of like the different film, realizing the potential ramifications that his weapons cause in other countries.
Yeah.
And the threats that both face those, and then just obviously dealing with that, dealing with the effect that he did with creating Ultron, dealing with the possible impact it had throughout lives. Like, his overall thing was terrific. Becoming, very excited of his first movie, being kind of like this very like selfish person, but then taking away and being selfless. The films, like becoming a mentor to Spider-Man. If you look at it, like Iron Man really carried the Avengers every single time. Like he's really carried the Avengers in the first movie. He helped divert the missile, the atomic missile, and got that in outer space to stop the storm. He helped create Vision in Ultron. He was a big part in coming out. He figured out the time traveling. And this one, Iron Man really is probably the MVP in every movie he appeared in. So it's kind of funny. I did like things coming full circle. Obviously, he ended the movie, saying "I am Iron Man," which is how he ended the very start of this whole decade of Marvel movies. So that was cool. Captain America. He did seem a lot more like he has been more edgier in each of his films after his first one. We're gonna go get that son of a bitch.
Oh yeah, yeah. Language. Yeah.
I didn't like how they did all of his Thor. They really did all of Thor dirty.
Well, Thor became this overweight alcoholic with PTSD.
Right.
Yeah. And a lot of people, the thing is, that's the number one complaint online about that, is like people didn't like how they did Hulk. People thought that Hulk was going to get his rematch with Thanos, and it didn't happen. He was just a watered down version of himself. But thing is, it makes me like, everybody was hoping that the Hulk would get some kind of redemption, but I guess they left that open-ended. But thing is, we don't know if they're going to do anything else with the Hulk or not. But thing is, I saw an interview where the Russo brothers said, well, everybody likes to see the Hulk do one thing, smash. They just like to see him be this big savage brute throughout all the movies. And they figure, well, but thing is, personally, I don't get tired of watching Hulk smash stuff and just be this big green wrecking ball. But the Russo brothers said, well, we don't want to do it too much because we don't want people to get tired of the character. But thing is, think about it. That's what the hell we watched the Hulk for. That's what we're waiting for. We're waiting for Bruce Banner to turn into an 8-foot-tall wrecking machine. Like, the thing is, what they did with him, they made him funnier. But thing is, everybody was still waiting for that big moment just like in the first Avengers movie, that I'm always angry Avengers movie moment. And we didn't get that. But like I said, the Hulk. I mean, I liked Thor's arc in the movie, especially when he went back in time and discovered that he was still worthy of Mjolnir. But like I said, I feel like I kind of do see where everybody was kind of disappointed in the Hulk.
Maybe the Russos don't like the Hulk. Like they literally never done anything with him.
I wouldn't say that they don't like the Hulk though.
Like I remember his arm being in a cast or something like that, but
yeah,
I don't know.
I wouldn't say that. It's just like I feel like they done. I feel they said. I'm just gonna say this from the mouths of Russos. I feel like they feel that they've done all they could do with the Hulk because the thing is the Hulk is just a big yeah.
Nothing with the Hulk. They have not touched the Hulk, bro.
Well, I mean, but the thing is they've opened up possibilities for multiple universes because a lot of people were expecting. Because the thing is we've seen regular Hulk, we've seen Professor Hulk, we've seen World War Hulk or in Thor Ragnarok. We haven't seen Worldbreaker Hulk though. That's the only one we haven't seen.
I think what's really annoying about it, like I'm not a Hulk fan, but it's about talking about the Hulk. He wasn't even in my mind, which is I think a bad thing. Because I don't remember him in the third act. Like I remember him having the cast on his arm. But when we think about Thor Ragnarok and that's like with TV. We think about Age of Ultron. The last time he did anything, that was Joss Whedon.
Yeah.
Like it's like I don't know. I've been pissed off since I was a Hulk fan. I get it. Thor, on the other hand, I understand it because he should be depressed because he was the one who totally messed up.
Yeah.
In addition to Star Lord, but he got snapped. But he gained weight. He became a man child, and I mean, when he came around after meeting his mother, which was a touching scene, I think.
Yeah, it is.
When he came out with the faded Viking beard and had Mjolnir and Stormbreaker with the glowing eyes from Ragnarok, that shit was weird. Like that shit was. So
yeah, definitely.
I'm a Thor fan as well. So like as a Thor fan, I'm pretty satisfied with how it ended up. But if I was really in love with the whole, these Russo brothers, they direct action too well, in my opinion, to have never done anything with them.
Yeah.
That's in another movie, man. Like, the whole man's mad at. Let's go with the dark movie, look at Thor 4. What's talk about this? The whole time they have a solo town. Solo town with some other dudes. Like, hey, what is that, man?
I think that is still. Go on.
I was going to say, they didn't even kill his arm. They said that his arm was permanently damaged.
What? How he has a healing factor? They better not do Hulk like this. They better not do him like this in no future MCU movies.
So I don't know what they're doing with the Hulk. The Hulk is a mess right now. Universal Films is right, so now we get a solo film for him. They already did the World War Hulk story, or well, at least the Planet Hulk story. So I don't know what they're going to use. They can't send him to the Dark Dimension because he hasn't built that yet, so he can't get back. I don't know what they're gonna do. They don't want to get him, so rest in peace to the Hulk, man. He's just only sitting there telling jokes.
Yeah, pretty much. But now let's get to the nitty gritty. What do you guys think about Thanos in this movie? Now, Infinity War was more his movie, but he kind of... I looked it up, and he only had a total of 29 minutes and 34 seconds of screen time. He only had a half... Out of a whole 3-hour movie, he only had a half-hour screen time in this movie. But thing is, he took up the majority of screen time in Infinity War. But thing is, I feel like because of the tone of this movie, and I feel like that screen time, I feel like it was about right. Especially in that climactic, final battle. I feel like that was much needed. But him having limited screen time didn't bother me, especially since, oh my goodness, he has some, I think, like, besides the Joker in The Dark Knight, Thanos is probably tied with having the best villain dialogue ever in a superhero movie. Thanos has so many quotable lines in not only this movie, but in Infinity War as well. But I feel like with Thanos as a character, because look at in the first 15 minutes in the movie when he got decapitated. Thing is, he was weak, he was crippled, destroying the Infinity Stones. Hell, I bet you even I could have beat Thanos at that point in time. But yeah, we saw him be this weak, crippled, person who couldn't hurt a fly, and then we see past Thanos, who found out what the Avengers were doing, and I read somewhere that this Thanos is probably stronger than before he was hunting the Infinity Stones. They said that this version of Thanos is probably stronger than the one in Infinity War before he got the stones. And you can kind of go head to tails on that one. But I feel like, I was pleased with Thanos in this movie. But Eric, what about you?
I was pleased with Thanos, but the more I think about it, there's less emotional stake into it, because in Infinity War, there were people who were like, "Oh, I understand Thanos, and I get it. I think those people are stupid." But regardless, this other Thanos who's just like, "I'm just gonna murder y'all because y'all don't know any better." Or whatever.
Yeah.
He was much more of a one-dimensional character than, let's say, 2017 Thanos was, and we didn't really feel anything for him. He was just an obstacle to overcome, which is an issue that MCU movies had for a long time until, I don't know, Spider-Man Homecoming, maybe. But, I thought he was a cool obstacle in that, but I kind of think it was a missed opportunity to earn a super emotional win against the Thanos that issued the snap. We just saw dickhead Thanos in Endgame.
Yeah.
But in Infinity War, he was a little bit more sympathetic, and you understood, and you kind of got it. And this one's just like, I'm murdering all y'all.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I get people's complaints about 2014 Thanos.
All right. Waz, what are your thoughts about Thanos in this movie versus the Infinity War movie?
Yeah, I agree. I wonder a little bit shortchanged. Like, he did seem different. Obviously, a little bit more ruthless. I still think there's plenty of, again, a few badass moments. Like him just sitting there waiting. Like, don't get my glove. I'm gonna chill here. I don't care if they got, Thor and Thor, Iron Man, and Captain America looking at me. I'm still chill here. Like, I'm not worried about it. Like, that was a lot of swag in that.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, that's fucking badass right there. I like to see that stuff. You're right there.
Oh, yeah.
What's that?
He definitely just sat down.
Yes. He nuked, not only did he sit down, he nuked the entire Avengers compound and just sat in the rubble and waited for him. If that's not a mark of badassery, I don't know what is.
I'm going to blow down your door and then I'm going to chill.
Exactly. You hit the nail on the head, Waz.
Yeah. You're right. I did think it was a cheap. I would have liked to have seen him play out more. Granted, obviously, if you're using the Infinity Stone twice, or probably the Infinity Gauntlet, he obviously was not in any condition to take on the rest of the Avengers, especially with Captain Marvel included. So it did a little bit cheapened, but again, because the previous Thanos had a little bit more personality. I felt like. Again, this one was interesting. He probably he knew everything, right?
Yeah.
So this is the old Thanos, but with the knowledge of the previous Thanos that went through the experiences. So it's kind of like, instead of learning through experience, you're kind of getting all the clip notes, so maybe you don't really process it well. But yeah, it was. I still enjoyed it. I wish he would have been in the movie more, since he was my favorite part in Infinity War. I really enjoyed Infinity War. It would have been great for him to have more screen time. I didn't realize he had that little, but that makes kind of sense, I guess. Only like just under 30 minutes, but I would have liked to have seen him more. But I definitely enjoyed. I enjoyed the part that he was in. And he did really. He still had hands. He still had hands for days. Like, he literally, you needed to snap him away. Couldn't beat him one-on-one. Even Captain Marvel, and Captain Marvel gave him the run. I mean, although granted, Star Wars really gave him the most work in the movie. Like, he had to call for backup after Star Wars started kind of up.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah. But Flip, what are your thoughts on Thanos in this movie and how he stacked up to the Thanos that was in Infinity War?
I gotta disagree with one of them. I thought it was perfect. We saw the original Thanos in the beginning, and he won. That was it. He destroyed the stone. He wiped out half the population. He sat on that thing, and he was smiling. He was happy. Went into his house and got attacked by the cops, but he won. Like they couldn't kick him.
Yeah.
Like that was it. Like Thanos won, but the villain won in Infinity War. There was no redemption for them. That was it. Like they couldn't go back and win. Like Infinity War was Thanos' rookie season. Endgame was time travel, get everything back to normal, and it just so happens that the past Thanos caught on and was like, oh, okay, y'all trying to mess up my plan. I see that I whooped y'all asses in the future, so
Yeah.
let me go do it again. So he went to the future, almost won again, but he lost. Like, I was expecting Thanos to win. But we saw that they had to sacrifice Tony for them to beat him. So that was kind of like the emotional factor. It wasn't that we needed Thanos to be some emotional villain for Endgame.
Mm-hmm.
We just needed him to be that obstacle for the emotional part for, Tony to die. He was there for Tony to die.
Yeah.
So I guess Eric was saying he's an obstacle, but I thought it was a justifiable obstacle because we got his character story in Infinity War. Some people felt for Thanos. We saw him win. We saw him destroy the stones, and he won. Period. It was like there's no other villain that I can think of that won. I mean, unless you want to count Baron Zemo or whatever his name was.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
he won. He was the winner of this phase of Marvel, and then we got to see Thanos whooping some ass and Endgame. So I was cool with it. I wasn't thinking of it as the Avengers need to avenge anybody in this movie, but I can see why some people think like, oh man, this is disappointing. Thanos is kind of like there to die.
Right. But what were you gonna say, Eric?
Nothing, I think. But I will say that I'm glad that Thanos got as much screen time as he did in Endgame, because I've heard complaints like, oh, well, if Infinity War was so focused on Thanos, but I like it like that. Well, it's like, yeah, Thanos had his movie. We shouldn't finish the series with our villains movie. We should finish it with the heroes movie, and kind of like a family reunion, and that's what it was.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Now, let's talk about our death predictions and which ones we got right and which ones we got wrong. I got all of my death predictions wrong. Well, hold on, wait a minute. Well, yeah, I got all my predictions wrong. But the thing is, a lot of you, like, I was actually glad, even though they didn't do much, I was glad to see the Black Order back. They didn't last long, but I was happy to see them back just for that one, climactic clash, type of moment. But I mean, of course, Iron Man, rest in peace, he bites the dust, and Black Widow, she sacrifices herself for the Soul Stone. Now, I thought it was going to be the other way around. I thought it was going to be Hawkeye who sacrificed himself for the Soul Stone, and I thought it was going to be Cap who sacrificed himself in the battle against Thanos and his army. Because, I mean, that one moment in the final battle where it's just Cap and Thanos going toe-to-toe. Iron Man's knocked out, Thor is down, and he's just beating him within the end of his life. And then when Thanos' army just shows up, Cap is beaten, he's bleeding, then he just, even his shield is broken and everything. But when he just laced up his shield and just was ready to die, I was like, oh man, this is it. But then that's when you heard Falcon over the radio, and then you saw everyone, and it's just that moment of epicness. But I mean, like I said, the thing is, it went one way. It went the opposite way that I thought it was going to go. But Eric, what do you think of the deaths and the impressions that it left on you?
I think I predicted that Captain America was going to die.
Yeah. Yeah, so did I.
Yeah, so obviously I'm glad he didn't.
Yeah.
The Iron Man death I was fine with.
Yeah.
And as soon as I knew he was going to say Iron Man, I was ready for it.
Yeah.
So that was pretty good. You know, as soon as you saw Doctor Strange's finger, you know, like, all right, Tony said now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that it was just like, all right, here we go. With Black Widow, I will say with that scene, it was a little weird because you're laughing at people trying to commit suicide.
Yeah.
That was weird. But,
They were fighting to die. Yeah.
yeah, they were fighting to die. It was like comedic, you know, it was like a comedic battle. It wasn't like it was tense, but it wasn't. But I wanted Hawkeye to go. I don't know. It can't be guessed, man. It's difficult to say.
It would have made sense. But the thing is, I mean, as much as I hate to say this, well, actually, I don't hate to say it now, especially since we got that femme fatale moment with all the female Marvel heroes. But the thing is, if you think about it, Black Widow kind of was expendable, especially with all the with the female hero lineup we have now. So yeah.
I don't know about that. That almost sounds like an affirmative action hire. Like,
No. But like I said, there was 12 female heroes all lined up ready for battle in the end. So yeah, she kind of, like I said, she's kind of is expendable. I mean, the thing is, she's been around since Iron Man 2. That was when she first popped up in the MCU. So her character arc is done. But the thing is, Black Widow's solo film now is going to be a prequel. Now we know it because the Russo brothers weren't clear on that. You know, first it's like Black Widow, she's getting her own movie. But they was like, well, it's going to be a prequel or sequel. Then they said, well, we can't tell you. You just have to watch Endgame to find out. But yeah, it caught me off guard, but it's like, okay, I understand because there's really nothing left for her character to do after Endgame anyway. So, yeah.
I mean, you could say the same for Captain America and Iron Man. They're both, like, not in action anymore either.
Yeah.
But back to the Hawkeye thing real quick. You know, he kind of had to live because he had his family and stuff, so I didn't expect him to be the one to go. I was so sad when I saw Black Widow die because Darjo's my babe.
Yeah.
But, you know, I get it. As far as the prequel goes, I'm not really trying to see a Black Widow prequel because it's just like character regression. It's just like, all right, she had it hard. Okay, here's the mission to the past. Cool. And, you know, I don't know. Maybe they could make me care when I see the trailer. And I'll for sure see it.
Yeah.
But right now, I'm not excited about the idea of getting so.
Yeah. And to me, a Black Widow movie would seem too James Bondish, kind of. Too James Bondish, Born Identity-ish. But like I said, we'll see if the MCU could do something different with that. But, Wise, what do you think of the... did you get any of your character death predictions right?
No, I did it. I mean, I think I stated that. Like, with characters like Black Widow and Hawkeye was safe a little bit because their deaths wouldn't have maybe much of an impact. Now, granted, I was wrong in that instance. I thought Cap was going to die too. Although, during the movie, I mean, after that, when they're talking about, they're like, let's go over all the Infinity Stones. You got to go over everything about them, and before we go to the time television, I'm like, did no one discuss like how the Soul Stone works, like how that was given? Like, I thought Nebula kind of knew how the Soul Stone was obtained. I figured like that would have been like a big hey, oh, by the way, the only way to get this stone is someone's got to sacrifice. Like, yeah, she knew. Now, she didn't know how to get the stone. She just knew that the more I didn't come back.
Yeah. And she put 2 and 2 together. So, yeah.
Yeah, I guess. Okay, maybe I'm with that. Maybe they know exactly how the stone was made, but in my mind, I'm thinking, oh my god, how's this going to work with the stone? I don't know how they're going to get close to it. So yeah, I guess it makes sense that they threw Hawkeye and Black Widow in that mission because obviously you can't bring 2 of your big names there. You can't have like Iron Man and Captain going
Yeah. Civil War showed that. Civil War showed that.
Although I think the only thing they potentially had right was I know I sent a video saying how Thanos should be fearing Iron Man the most. So I guess that was kind of the only thing that I kind of maybe felt like oh okay, I kind of had an idea of this potentially happened. Like after seeing that video, oh yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Credit to Bill Cooper, the posting that. That was like a lot of it was definitely full circle kind of thing, and definitely things that picked up on right away, but then afterwards. So, just seeing that, I did feel like okay, this could definitely happen. But no, definitely in terms of our last podcast, I did not see a lot of that. I didn't see Tony dying. I thought Tony was safe. But it just made it hit harder, more emotionally when he went. So I didn't see it coming.
Yeah. All right, Flip. Did you get any of your character death predictions right, and what did you think of the ones that did happen?
I think I said Cat, Nebula, and Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Maybe Hawkeye.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to Nebula,
Yeah, kind of.
with Cat, I mean, I was trying to write too. I mean, he was like 150.
That's out of my bed.
But yeah, I didn't expect Tony to die. That was the real big surprise. That threw me off. Even because I read a spoiler, so I was kind of spoiled already. But even when I saw it in theaters, I was like, damn, Tony doesn't die. His contract got a few more years. I didn't see this coming. Black Widow stuff, though, I didn't was like, oh man. It really felt like a copy paste of the more death. Like she even died like with the same pose and everything. It was kind of crazy. It was cool to see them fighting over who's going to kill themselves, but I mean them dying was I mean we see what they can do here. You're just watching this. They need not to really care about Hawkeye and Star Wars. Black Widow dying. So it was more anticlimactic for me. But yeah, the Tony death was the one that really was surprised me. I didn't expect him to die out, especially with the Spider-Man movie coming up. I thought he was going to be playing a role in that. But,
Oh yeah.
yeah. The Tony death was the real big one for me.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, it got to me too because, like I said, Iron Man is probably my favorite Marvel character of all time because, I mean, come on, he's pretty much without more or less the same moral compass. He's pretty much the Batman of the Marvel universe. Well, you could throw Moon Knight in there too, but just like from character background, he lost his parents. He's a genius billionaire that inherited a fortune, and he used that technology to fight crime. So, yeah, more or less, yeah. But yeah, I mean, that was pretty much the most emotional thing for me because, like, I had, of course, he's pretty much the father of the MCU, and it really is going to be interesting to see the MCU without RDJ. But I mean, because he pretty much brought Iron Man to life. But yeah. Anyway, now before we sign out tonight, fellas, what is your final rating on a scale of 1 to 10 for Avengers Endgame? Now, I gave Avengers Infinity War a 9.5 out of 10. But me, I'm probably going to... I initially said... I was probably in theater shock when I said this, but I said I gave Endgame a perfect 10. But, with a couple of those things, I might also have to knock it down. I might have to knock Endgame down to a 9.5 out of 10, which is still an amazing movie. But, Eric, what about you? What's your score?
10, goddammit.
Woo! Thank you! Thank you!
I don't know, man. Like, I mentioned some, flaws or whatever, but...
It doesn't take away from it, yeah.
Not for me personally. Like, I came out of it so, like, feeling so many emotions, being so happy and, like, not proud, I guess, but I don't know. That's a weird word to use, but...
Yeah, I understand what you mean, especially understanding, like, where this started and where this came from. So, yes, I understand that sense of pride in you.
Yeah. So satiated and satisfied and full. I came out of it just, like, damn, they did it.
They
like,
did it, yeah.
He stuck the landing, so I'm holding up the thing for training game.
Yeah. And a part of me, I mean, you know, of course, those tear-jerker moments in the theater. I mean, I was, you know, like, especially when Iron Man was, you know, clinging on to that last bit of life, and then you saw his arc reactor start to flicker and then fade out. I was like, I looked down. I seen the movie twice, and I looked down. I was like, don't you cry in this theater, damn it! You better not cry in front of all these people. But I tell you, like, there was like the thing was, that one little tear crept up, like it didn't creep down my cheek, but you know how like sometimes your eyes get moist. I was like, damn, somebody in the theater is cutting onions, damn it. But yeah, but man, Waz, what is your rating on a scale of 1 to 10?
I'll give it a 8/8.5.
That's for 8.5 is fair.
What's that?
8.5 is fair, but go on. That's a fair rating.
Yeah. I mean, I've only seen it the first time. I don't know if it's rewatchable for me, and maybe I'll enjoy it more.
Right.
As it goes. But yeah, again, it was just I think the middle part of the movie, looking back at it, was what I was kind of a little bit mad about, just in terms of the use of time travel, and maybe the lack of screen time. The first part, third, and the last third, I was really satisfied with.
Yeah.
And then the death of Tony Stark definitely got me. Definitely shed a smoke here for Tony Stark. It was emotional. I think anytime a movie can kind of draw that bit of emotion from the audience,
Yeah.
it's definitely worthwhile. Like you can like look through all the Marvel movies and then go, okay, how many moments in all of those movies did you potentially maybe almost cry or like almost kind of like shed a tear? And it's not many.
Yeah.
Not many of those moments that can kind of draw that emotion from you. So I think just for that alone, the movie definitely has a lot of definitely up there. But I just still have a little bit of fault issues with it in some parts. But I'll still give it an 8.5.
That's a fair rating. That's still, you know, better than an 8.5 rating. Still better than the majority of movies that are out right now. But Flip, what about you? What is your scale on yours? What do you rate this movie on a scale of 1 to 10?
I give it an 8.
Hmm.
There were 4 things I had a problem with, so I took half a point off of each of them.
Mm-hmm.
The first one was Hulk being useless and a loser. As a Hulk fan, I can't stand with that, so had to put it on. The next one was Captain America's time travel little things being unanswered. The Russos and the director don't even know like what they need to agree on. They're both saying different things, so I know that little Cap part was probably just trying to send me into it, but they need to at least like figure out how to like put it into the story correctly. So half a point down to that.
Yeah, I thought you had with that.
Yeah.
No, I'm going off the top. Next one is Doctor Strange fighting a time lady instead of fighting Thanos. I wasn't a fan of that.
Yeah.
It was kind of. It was like they took all the favorite scenes and they made them useless. Like I saw the title and it felt that guy because Scarlet Witch was like, oh, well, here's Doctor Strange, you can take it over. And I was like, oh, come on, like, this is supposed to be fighting Thanos right now. But now he's fighting Thanos, so it's like, okay, next time we see Doctor Strange, he put his finger up, so Tony died. So it was like, okay, cool. So I had to take half a point off of that. And my last half point I had to take off was then letting Black Panther come out first.
Really?
I didn't. They gave him like a full 30 seconds just walking through the animals.
But do you like that little fan service moment? But did you like that fan service moment where he had the Infinity Gauntlet?
No, I hated that one too.
Really?
You had
Wow.
Because you had this whole big moment where you came up and pulled him first. You got like 30 seconds to Black Panther taking his slow ass time getting out the portal. Everybody else moved through theirs. But he like, what did he do? He walked up the Spider-Man and then proceeded to run with the glove like it was a football. And his phone was a rock.
Yeah.
He did this far. He got like trash. I think it was trash. Like I like okay, shout out to the running part of the way, because they actually did their thing and they actually got part of it. But it's like, half point is actually like failure. Even nothing. So half a point does enough that 8 out of 10.
All right.
So what was Mantis doing in that spot, by the way?
What was Mantis doing?
You don't know.
Well,
I don't know what Mantis was doing.
Mantis was just run because Mantis, she's not a fighter. She just has an OP ability to where, yeah, like the thing is, she has mind. I mean, come on, she kept Ego the Living Planet under mind control. She could, and the thing is, she was able to hold Thanos until Star-Lord fudged it up. But yeah, Mantis wasn't really doing that much. Oh yeah, and guys, one more thing that we got to talk about before we sign off. What is your favorite OMG moment from Avengers Endgame? I got 3, but if I have to narrow it down to I'll let you guys go first, then I'll say mine. But Eric, what was your favorite OMG or holy shit moment in Endgame?
Yeah, you heard this shit down the line, sir. Mine is definitely, and it's great because it was spoiled for me. I knew it was coming.
Mm-hmm.
I knew when it was coming because it started to be foreshadowed a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But it's definitely the Captain America Mjolnir.
Thank you.
We will make it out of this, at least, out of this saga or whatever. Like, we will make it through all right.
Yeah.
This action is like, we know it's like, once we got the hammer working that shit better than Thor. Like,
Yeah.
lightning and started combining his weapons. It was like watching a damn Ultimate Alliance video game.
Yes,
But
yes.
It was older than that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. That's just when like my eyes just started watering, and they did not stop
Yes.
until the credit. Oh man, that scene was amazing. And of course, with Thor and Cap, they cooperating using the hammers and trading jokes and all that stuff. But yeah, that was that moment. That was that oh shit. Even though I knew it was coming, which makes it a bigger oh shit.
Yeah, definitely. Now, the theater that I was at, everybody stood up like that. Like as soon as when Thor called Mjolnir to him, and then it just whizzed past him and Thanos, and then it went into Cap's arm. The whole theater went nuts. Like there was not one person who was quiet in that whole thing. But yeah. But Wise, what was your OMG moment? Your favorite one in Endgame?
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I can't. I agree with Eric. That was probably the combination of him wielding like calling the hammer back, and then using it, and then the combination of using that and the shield together. Like that was epic. The whole sequence was incredible. It was phenomenal. Genius.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
The whole people. Great. That's probably the biggest OMG moment for me.
Yeah. All right, Flip. What is your favorite OMG moment that happened in Endgame?
I like the Mjolnir one with Cap.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty great. I'm going to say it was Tyson. Because, like Eric said, I was spoiled a little bit with the total part. But when I saw it, it was amazing to me, man. Like, I don't know if people noticed, like, Doctor Strange was over here putting up puzzles from, like, different parts of the universe. I was sitting there like, oh,
Yeah.
okay. Like, my boy Doctor Strange is on a different level now, They had to put him on the sideline because we were with Thanos fans. Like, I was hyped.
Mm-hmm.
So that was, like, my moment. But I also really liked Cassie and Thanos ass with the Mjolnir.
Oh
And,
yes.
I like the Strange part. I thought it was kind of funny how they started with Thanos saying, I don't even know
Yeah.
Like, put hands on him, and he's just like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I'm a rocket. He was about 10 seconds from dying, and then that movie about 20 minutes later. So.
Yeah.
Oh, that was pretty hot. But yeah, I would say those three are my time on the podcast.
Right.
You know what? Also another one was Captain Marvel taking one right in the chin.
You pretty much stole the one that I was gonna say. How Captain Marvel just swooped it, because when Thanos said rain fire, and then he just was about to nuke everybody, but then all of a sudden the ships turned their attention to the atmosphere. Then it was just Captain Marvel just swooping and zooming through the fire, and then she took a headbutt from Thanos and didn't move. And come on, you mean to tell that's how you know that Captain Marvel is OP as hell, because Thanos was giving Cap, Iron Man, and a fully powered Thor all they can handle. But then you mean to tell me that the only way that he can even hurt her is to rip the Infinity Stone, rip the Power Stone out of the gauntlet and punch her with it? That's the only way that you can hurt Captain Marvel is with an Infinity Stone. Wow. But yeah, that's my top moment, boy. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You do need all the women to lead her. Like Captain Marvel was good as grab that stone, gone through the entire thing by herself. But it gives still different.
Yeah. But that's pretty much the moment that I enjoyed the most. Yeah. Anywho, fellas, you got any questions, comments, any final thoughts that you guys want to share before we sign out tonight? I was happy to see them back just for the sole purpose of, well, they have more use in this movie, or they're